And we are live on Zoom. We are live on YouTube. And we are live on the Sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron's internet radio station. I'm thankful and grateful to be here today. Uh, it is a lot going on in the cosmos, which in turn means it is a lot going on in 3D. Uh, I want everybody to know and be sure that the kabuki political theater that is being played out all across the land is just that. It's kabuki theater. It is uh, doing what it is designed to do, and that is for the masses of people, it is serving as a distraction. Uh, there are things that are happening behind the scenes, things that are happening that are not being reported, things that are happening uh, that further confirms for me that the dismantling of this system that has been running roughshod, eh, I'll say since they made up that book uh, uh, with that uh, dude that looked like Clint Eastwood. Yeah, since yeah the systems and the things that came out of that book that was made up at the Council of Nicaea, uh, all of those systems, whether your news is letting you know or not, are unraveling. They are crumbling. They are falling. All of the unbalanced alliances are being exposed and are coming down. Uh, so I want to encourage each of us to, it, the political kabuki theater. That's my comic relief. I'm a real serious type of person, so I need something that is so far out of the realm of possibility. I need that to jolt me and to make me laugh. And what is currently going on, especially in politics here in America, that shit is better than some of them unscripted reality shows from the 90s. Yeah, I mean, it's it's amazing. It's amazing without scripts and without uh, anything set up. This shit is hilarious. So uh, I just want each of us to continue to trust and know. I'm never going to tell you to trust and believe in shit. Over here at On the Sevens, we don't believe in anything. We know. And if we don't know, we'll find out. Yeah, we will find out. So just keep trusting and knowing that everything that you are doing individually, as far as the silent manifestation of your emerging goals, desires, and active pursuits, keep doing it silently. Mm-hmm. And allow your advanced production, once launched, to do all of the talking. I'm thankful and grateful. We are live. This is On the Sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron, where we come to awaken, ascend, and expand. I am Pi Frisbee Metatron, your host with the most. And today, just like every day, is a great day to be me. Every day is a great day to be me. I believe this, I live this, I bees this, and I require this. And I guarantee you this: should you make that mantra a part of your daily rituals, and then you go about doing the things that it motivates and inspires you to do, your life too will get better exponentially each and every day. Uh, I'm like the guy from the old commercial, the hair club for men. Not only am I endorsing this, I am a customer. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Before we get started, this broadcast is sponsored by Jolynn Herbert, author of Jolynn's Written Expressions. Jolynn Herbert is a licensed social worker with over 20 years of experience, a Mary Kay beauty consultant, and a motivational speaker. Her work includes poetry and memoirs that explore healing and transformation. She serves as a feature author and associate editor of Indie Incognito magazine and advocates for civil rights and adult mental health. Her voice uplifts communities and inspires growth across every corridor of our network as her stories continue to empower readers and listeners everywhere today. To get a contact with Jolynn or to get a message to her, simply shoot me an email at 88 steps at onthe7s.com. That is 88 steps at onthe7s.com. All right. We are excited about today's broadcast. So I'm just going to swing ball cross court over to Archangel Elenia. Take it away, Archangel.
I'm glad I'm able to hear you because your voice got real quiet.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
How about now?
No.
Oh, I'm swinging. I'm be messing around over here. I'm excited and happy with all the things. Yes, Steph, if you can't get your sound, just keep doing what you got to do until you can make it in. So you got a special message.
It's like your sound is going like quieter and quieter. I can't hear you. There
Is
you
it?
go. There you go. I can hear you now.
You can hear me
Sound
now?
good.
All right.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So yeah, I did want to get into the solstice, which is going to be June 21st. Um, of course, this is the beginning of Cancer season. However, this is also a gate portal experience as well. Gemini to me is like a portal experience itself as a season because there's so many choices or decisions that can be made during this time, as well as the Mercury retrograde. However, this solstice is just looking at the astrology speaks a lot to the shadow side of perfectionism and doubt, us being able to get into the energy of with the sun and Chiron being both at 0 degrees in a sextile. This is the opportunity for growth and compassion to overcome those pesky, moody perfectionism or doubts that we may have. And the Uranus is in the square with the node still right now as well. Will could be continuing until then. We'll still feel those effects. And Uranus squaring the nodes in Pisces and Virgo um, is honestly giving us a last minute course correction into where we're meant to be on an individual, unique individual level. Being more in tune with our spirituality versus being caught up in the worldly show and what everyone else is doing. The solstice is definitely going to help us go further into like we're doing today with the meditation is be in a meditative state when it comes to what is it that we're trying to perfect, what are the roots of the doubts that we may be feeling during this time, and that's where the compassion and the growth and being more compassionate in our growth process comes from because we are choosing an individual path that's unique to us. And because no two paths are really alike, it can definitely give us a cause for like that Cancer energy where we kind of like feel like we need to retreat or we need to go into a bit of a hermitage. but that's only for us to dig deeper within ourselves and take a reflective gaze at what is spirit leading us to do, what is spirit asking of us to do at this time. So what I also wanted to tap into about this solstice energy as well is that anytime we're going through the solstice gateway, it's always, to me, it always appears as like this setup for our A8 portal experience. And going through the dog days, which is during our time here, would be like July 4th weekend. Then when we have that close connection with that Sirius gateway system during that time, and instead of using that energy to pour into the 250th anniversary of a company, we can actually use that energy every year. Honestly, we can use that energy to tap deeper into our spiritual abilities, our spiritual gifts, and what they've led us to thus far, and where it's going to continue to lead us to as you go further. So yeah, during that July 3rd to July 5th, post this solstice is where that energy starts to ramp up for us spiritually. And usually during Cancer season, I know Mars in Cancer is not like the best placement. But Cancer energy overall, it is very, like I said, reflective. It's not like fire energy, even though it's still an initiating sign like Aries and Libra and Capricorn. It does force you to initiate into something. So now the initiation process, we're being more intentional because we're more aware now than we've ever been. So there's no excuses as to what do we need to change because the world around us is already significantly changing. So we want to be more present in our uniqueness. We want to be more present in what the divine holds in store for us, and we want to allow those corrections to take place. Now, with the day of the solstice, the moon will be in Virgo, which is where the South Node is. So that's why I'm like, we really want to be prepared to battle those doubts and the need to be perfect or the need to fix things that we may find wrong with ourselves or even in other people, because sometimes what we may think is something that needs to be fixed is really just a grateful and blessed way to allow life to be different than what we think it's supposed to be. And Virgo energy tends to have an issue with that. So we look to our North Node transit, which is in Pisces, which allows us to get back into the oneness of things, being one with your desired reality, being one with the energy of love, enlightenment, and joy, being one with the greatest version of ourselves, whatever that means for you. Tap deeper into that energy, especially with Uranus being in Gemini, which is going to be 12th house to the sun during this transit. So there might be a lot of random spiritual moments that we can have during the solstice, especially in dream world, where we can get a lot of messages that is either confirming what we know to be true or confirming that there might be a little disassociation between where we're supposed to be and where we currently are. So we want to pay attention to the dream realm, as well as pay attention to those synchronicities that just randomly pop up because Uranus will be 12th house to the sun during this time. Now, with that being said, Mercury and Jupiter will be together in Cancer. They won't be conjunct exactly, but they'll be a few degrees apart, but they'll still be pretty close together at the tail end of Cancer because Mercury's basically slowing down right now. So we also want to allow ourselves to, uh, with this Jupiter, Jupiter Cancer closing out, just again with the compassion, the kindness, the love, really give that to yourself and not give it to yourself in a way where it's like, okay, I could do this for myself. Like really give it to yourself. Like really like how you can sit in prayer mode or meditation mode and you really relieve yourself of the burdens that you've been carrying throughout the day, or you relieve yourself with other people bullshit that don't have nothing to do with you. Relieve yourself in knowing that you deserve as much love and compassion and desire to support that reality. The support for your desired reality is also non-negotiable for you. We spend a lot of time doing things for other people, and even with the 12th house, with the Uranus being in Gemini trying over to Pluto being in Aquarius, there's going to be a lot of attention that is going to be placed on community, people meeting together. Doing the work with yourself first, giving yourself the love and compassion first, is going to help you be more initiated when it comes to dealing with groups of people, whether you know them closely or you know them from a distance. Because how we treat ourselves is going to be a direct reflection in how we are able to treat others. And if you have low compassion, low kindness, and really no self-awareness, really no ability to really reflect on your choices, your actions, and see if you're being actually accountable to the life that you know you came here to do, without somebody telling you to, because you do have free agency, the more we're able to tap into that frequency, the easier it'd be to support other people to do that for themselves. So we don't have to continue to live in a lifestyle or a loop of realities where we're trying to carry the responsibility of everything and everyone because we're trying to fix it. And we think that's going to fix us. And that's not how it works. So, yeah, allow this. It feels like I'm getting like new moon experience, but we not even there yet. Not even there yet. We got a ways to go before we get to a new moon. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but I am feeling like a lot of like moon energy, a lot of silver, a lot of added layers of protection over the heart space. Like being like very cognizant of where your energy could be weakened when it comes to your heart space, and pulling that energy in and being one with it, sitting with it a little longer than you normally would. Because things are about to be so different that we want to develop more habits of pouring into ourselves. And we've grown up in a society where it's always about like bringing more attention to other people than to ourselves because it's considered narcissistic. And I think we should change the narrative of that. I think we should definitely change the narrative of that.
It's being
So
changed.
yeah, as we speak,
Mhm.
exactly, precisely. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I do see here coming into this solstice journey is we will have to deal with the perfectionism, the need to fix it, the need to be responsible for other people by creating distance, cutting things off in a more growth, in an effort to grow and being more compassionate with yourself, allowing your universal language to speak to you and guide you, and turning everything else off, no matter how challenging it could be, because, we creatures of habit. However, six house habits can either allow you to live a full life or slowly kill you. So choose wisely. And yes, all of this is to set us up so we can be more grateful and see the blessings. Because that's what they used to do during the dog days, is watch the now rise because they knew the blessings were coming in. That frequency is coming in. So that's the same attitude we want to take during this solstice, is allow ourselves to spiritually prepare for the blessings that we didn't even know we could have. And it's not like it's a one at a time of the year thing. It's more like allow yourself to be reminded spiritually that you really are safe, you really are protected, you really are nurtured, you really are loved, you really are guided beyond human comprehension. Um, and that's really, yeah, and that's kind of it, what I wanted to touch on for the solstice. Thank you.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. We are going to get a little bit deeper into the solstice. Of course, I have a little something prepared uh, about the solstice, and then we're going to talk about the 7 portals that open uh, for each of us uh, throughout and during this solstice and what we need to do. So, and thank you, Archangel. Thank you. That is some very pertinent and right on time information. And yeah, I'm feeling the the iceberg that had been around my heart and just around all of my emotions. It's not in a full-on melt yet. It's getting there though. It's the water it's dripping, and yeah. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be to feel safe enough in my own spirituality to open myself back up. Okay, here we go. Start giving a fuck about people again. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So, I still don't give a fuck. However, I give a fuck. And those that know me know what that means. All right, all right, all right. June 2026, summer solstice, Master Self Soul Vibration. To start it off, it's happening in a universal 16.7 tower frequency. June 2026 is a universal 16.7 tower month. On June 21st, 2026, at 7:22 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the summer solstice 2026 is the moment when the sun crowns the sky and the world stands inside a suspended breath. This gate does not simply illuminate your path. It reveals your identity. This summer solstice 2026 opens your individual solar crown, your highest point of light, where truth becomes undeniable and your authentic self can no longer hide behind outdated forms. The universal 16.7 tower frequency strikes through illusion, dissolving false structures, and exposing the architecture of your authentic becoming. This is revelation, correction, and elevation in a single being. This solar trinity activates your solar mind, clears the distortion, and restores inner sovereignty. Your solar heart stabilizes emotional coherence and sovereign compassion. That's what I'm feeling, that emotional coherence and sovereign compassion. And your solar body becomes the instrument of embodied truth. And my body and my physical body has been talking to me these past couple of days. And yeah, I got to get up and move my ass. Yeah, I got to put some movement in. Yeah, I need movement. My body needs more movement than it has been getting, and my body is letting me know that already. See, I must be on the advanced team for the Cosmos, because I start feeling this shit at least 7 to 11 days before any major cosmic event. Yeah, I feel it 7 to 11 days prior. This summer solstice 2026 opens the shadow light corridor, where what once lived in the unseen rises for integration without fear. Nothing here is punishment. Everything is instruction. The Tower of Light removes what cannot continue and strengthens what must rise. The solar destiny axis aligns your vertical field. You stand between the sun above and the earth below as the revealed, authentic version of yourself. This summer solstice 2026 declares that your becoming is no longer theoretical. It is embodied. Take this solar directive. Move as the one who knows. And then this compression line. Stand in the light that reveals, not the shadow that remembers. Any comments? Any questions? Any concerns? Archangel, you got any follow up on any of that I just said before we get into the seven portals?
I will comment that your voice is going back down again.
Back down again.
Yeah,
What's
I
that?
can still hear
How
you
about
though,
now?
but
How about now?
it's still low.
It's still low. Let me go over here. Let me go over here. Testing, testing, testing. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, well you keep talking.
Okay, all right. So
Testing.
yeah, before we get into the seven portals, I definitely do what you were saying, feeling that compassion around the heart space. Like I was commenting on, it feels kind of like for me, it feels like wow, like I just keep getting this reoccurring thought, like wow, my life is different and it's about to become even more different. Like
Absolutely.
I ain't never seen this before. Like I couldn't call it.
It's major transformation happening. Most of it is internal transformation. However, there is external manifestations of this transformation that's going on. For anybody who needs a visual affirmation or a visual confirmation, take a picture of yourself right now, today.
Mm-hmm.
And then next Monday, after the solstice, take a picture of yourself. And you may not recognize one or the other.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
happening. It's happening. I can feel it. Like I said, I've been feeling this shit about 4 or 5 days already, and it's not even coming until Sunday. So yeah, I get you. I get it on that. I get it. Anybody else? Anybody else feeling the transformation, feeling some internal combustion that is going on that you may not could put your finger on it exactly, but you know it's something. Me and my boy Ryan have been both feeling and sensing and knowing the enormity of not only what we are currently working on, what you guys know we're working on, but some things individually for him and some things individually for me. Ryan, you got a second? Can you chime in and just speak on what we're talking about right now?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. So everybody here, I believe, is mostly council members, but even if you're a regular member, how we use that term knowing here, we're in a position of knowing on this particular project. I'll touch on this one project because you guys are familiar with it. Humbly speaking, but in the very same breath, unapologetically not humble, because you know the real definition of it, but it's important to have a balance of humility. I'll say that. Nobody has what we have. What you guys are experiencing right now, what you're sitting on, what you guys will get more comfortable with using more. Like I'll give you a prime example. Right before this call, I texted a council member asking a question, and he responded in a metaphysical, esoteric way. So this is what we have access to. There's nothing like this membership all in one place. It's going to get even more custom all in one place. If you know somebody that does WordPress websites, please bring them to the table. We're talking about a lot of abundance here because there's a void that we're feeling. And I'm pretty sure all of you guys would agree, the world is going more and more new age. More and more and more and more people are into what we are into here. And we just need that assistance, whether it be monetarily, whether it be with connections, so on and so forth. You don't want to rely on one person and their timetable, right? So if you know anybody that does websites, WordPress websites, anything like that, if you see the vision and you want to contribute a nominal amount, let us know because we have a void that we can beyond prove that is sitting right there, you know, to where it'll be thousands of members that will be enjoying the services, and none of you guys will be excluded or have less time because more people will be involved because we already had a groundwork laid out to make sure it's manageable. So for everybody here, you're grandfathered into something exciting, And if you really see the vision, or if you need the vision, I don't mind doing a private meeting or one-on-one meeting, or you, me, and Mark, to where we can make it clear to you. If you find it in your heart or in your spirit, or even if you just understand economics and business and you see where this is going, we definitely could use some resources on web development with emphasis on membership sites and WordPress, and or any type of monetary investment into marketing. So unapologetically, I put that out there. And for everybody here, I think it was a great recommendation to take a picture of yourself now, and then take a picture of yourself, a little later on, and just see if you see any energy leakage.
Absolutely.
I can give you a prime example for myself. This time last year, based on where I look like now, I've depleted some energy. I was way more vibrant last year this time, and I still have energy, but it's just I'm carrying way more than my load in a number of different projects. And I can see it because I actually saw a picture of myself a couple of days ago from around this time last year. And I was way more vibrant last year. So pay attention to your energy as well. And again, if you have questions about the project, if you want to benefit from the project, if you are a council member, you're getting 40% of the fucking revenue. I have to say it like that to be direct, because if I was granted that opportunity, I'd be jumping in trying to contribute. So I just want to put that out there. I'll turn the floor back over.
Appreciate you, Ryan. Appreciate you. Yeah. Speaking about the memberships and all of that, I'm doing the grunt work, the necessary grinding work. I'm setting up the different membership tiers, the different pricing tiers, the different payment options, different coupons, drip emails, the whole nine. You guys won't have to do any of that. You guys literally will be plug and play. You'll just get in your queue, and that's it. So it is a unique opportunity. And like he said, no one, no one has anything close to what we're doing. So we're grateful. We're grateful. All right. Let's get into these. Let's check it out according to the portals. There are 7 portals connected to, attached to, linked to, controlled by, and opening on this summer solstice 2026. They're coming in this order. Number 1 portal is the expansion portal. The expansion portal opens at this summer solstice 2026 when the sun reaches its highest crown and the tower of light frequency of 16.7 strikes through limitation. This portal widens the field around you, dissolving the invisible walls you once knew, thought, and felt were real. Expansion here is not growth through effort. It is growth through revelation. This summer solstice 2026 shows you where you were living small, not because you lacked power, because you were still carrying the memory of an outdated identity. As this portal opens, your inner horizon stretches beyond familiar boundaries. You feel the architecture of your future authentic self rising like a new landscape. This portal activates your capacity to hold more light, more truth, more purpose, and more possibility. This portal dissolves contraction, scarcity of vision, and the internal narratives that kept your potential compressed. Expansion becomes your natural state. The solstice directive: widen your field until your truth has room to breathe. And the compression line: I expand into the space that was always mine. What say you, Archangel Elenia, about this expansion portal?
Yeah, I definitely tapped into more of that, of course, Jupiter Cancer energy with that expansion portal, because that aligns the most to me, not just because Jupiter is about expansion, but uh, because Cancer does have to do with memory and being comfortable. And we have to allow ourselves to go through the uncomfortability of growth in order to get through that expansion. So, a lot of people who did not, for the past year, see any particular growth anywhere in their lifestyle is more than likely because you didn't take a risk and allow yourself to feel differently about the situation that you're currently in. And more than likely, if you actually reflected on it, you will see that you actually do want to get out of the situation or that loop that you're in. You just have a problem with not being uncomfortable. So that's kind of like the correlation that I made with that is that Jupiter Cancer cycle and us heading into Leo. It's like get out of the comfort zone and bask into the feeling of new, like all new things, all new paths. Just embrace it. Embrace the adventure.
Thank you for that. Portal number 2, the abundance portal. The abundance portal opens when the summer solstice 2026 light reaches its zenith and the 16.7 tower frequency clears the structures that once restricted your capacity to receive. This portal does not amplify desire. It amplifies alignment. Abundance here is not accumulation. Abundance is resonance. The summer solstice 2026 reveals where you carried scarcity, a sense of lack, or a broke mentality as memories rather than truth. As the portal opens, your field recalibrates to the frequency of sufficiency, expansion, and natural flow. You feel the shift as your inner architecture releases contraction and welcomes the rhythm of effortless provision. This portal activates your ability to receive without strain. It dissolves scarcity narratives, a sense of lack environment, inherited limitations, that broke mentality, and the internal compression that once distorted your relationship with receiving. Abundance becomes a state of being rather than a pursuit. You step into a field where your presence magnetizes what matches your truth. The solstice directive: receive from the field that already recognizes your worth. I like that right there. I like that right there. Receive from the field that already recognizes your worth. And the compression line is I open to the flow that was always seeking me. What say you, Archangel?
I definitely resonate or align with that line as well. And then for abundance, I did have that connection with the Chiron Taurus ingress. This is going to be a time for us to really go back and take a look at how we view abundance right now and where it came from. A lot of times that even people with a lot of amount of money or it could be rich, they always have some type of entryway into going in that direction based on being able to find like there's a sense of lack and they want to feel it. And then we get to a point where it's like, okay, we're no longer feeling a physical void with material things. Now we need to tackle into how we sense the lack and trying to feel the void is really us trying to feel a sense of stability or security within ourselves that we may use through materialistic things. So abundance really is something that I would add as like one of those senses that we do have with Taurus. And it does come from knowing that you already again have the abundance there with you. And Chiron is just going to be able to point out all the weak spots or the sore spots, really the sore spots we have when it comes to what abundance or even prosperity could actually look like or mean for us that is not attached to with the square over to Aquarius is going to hit first that is not attached to popular or worldly opinions. It has to be something that is unique and divine, because that's the only way it's going to come. I know Taurus is definitely associated with possessions, but the most spiritual thing that you could ever possess is always going to be yourself. It's never going to be things outside of you. And how you choose to take possession or full control of your entity, your energy, is going to play a lot into how you also see yourself as valuable, prosperous, and abundant as well. And then that reflected out is going to be reflected back in from the universe, whether it's through people, opportunities, and things of that nature. Because all of the abundance we do have, yes, we're innately connected to it, but this will help us, even if you are fully aware of how abundant you are, this will also help us peer into another layer of that either. And Taurus, again, have to do with the senses, higher senses as well, because Taurus is a very spiritual sign. Like the thought of you never having to worry about paying for something, never having to worry about struggle, never having to go through that cycle of thinking about, will this be enough? Do I have enough? Like, is something going to be taken away from me? Like those type of fears have to rise to the surface in order for you to deal with them directly. And once we are able to get past that, we'll again keep coming back to that virtuous point where it's like, I always had it.
Thank you for that. All right, all right, all right. Uh, uh, Portal number 3, soul level healing portal. The soul level healing portal opens when this summer solstice 2026 light enters the deepest chambers of your being, and the 16.7 tower frequency dissolves the structures that once held unprocessed memory. This portal does not heal through effort. It heals through revelation. This summer solstice 2026 exposes the origin of old wounds, not to reopen them, rather to release the identity that formed around them. As the portal opens, ancestral echoes, karmic impressions, and emotional residues rise into your solar field, where they lose density and return to neutrality. This portal activates restoration at the root of your soul architecture. You feel the shift as your inner field clears patterns that never belonged to your authentic self. The healing is not correction. The healing is remembrance. You return to the original coherence that existed before distortion shaped your path. Soul level clarity becomes your new foundation. The solstice directive: let the light reach the places you once guarded. Ooh, okay, I can do that. And the compression line: I return to the truth that existed before the wound. What say you, Archangel?
Yeah, and it's funny you touch on remembrance, because I do have the moon here, and the moon will also be in Virgo that day, which is Virgo is all about healing as well. So, and I also wanted to add in that Pluto as well is very good with getting out a lot of the corners, those corners that are hard to reach, to help dig all that information out. And information can be a form of light as well, because it's energy that we're taking in. So we want to be able to take in as much energy as possible, not only from the wound itself, but also from being able to go back into those ancient remedies or ancient ways of doing things that bring us natural healing from the inside out. We do want to tap deeper into that healing process that is unique to us as well, touching back on the Pluto. Um, I also wanted to touch on the fact that it's a card in my Earth Warriors Oracle where it talks about how normally when something needs to be healed, we automatically get the medicine together. We prepare for that transformation to take place, but we also want to prepare for the fact that not only, yeah, you will be healed, but you're going to be different when you're healed as well. So you also want to prepare for what happens after that, not just the
Absolutely.
process of trying to get through it. Yeah. So definitely big with healing at the time. Definitely big with healing. And the time of and with Virgo, it is going to be again the thoughts that we have, getting rid of them, distancing ourselves from those particular thoughts that create, even in the mind or in our words, um, a habit of not properly recognizing ourselves, not properly taking the time to acknowledge where you need help or support and allowing yourself to receive it. That could be something that needs to be deeply healed as well, when it comes to that healing sector and as well as people, but definitely the thought processes um, have to be healed.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. All right. Number 4 is the Emerging Authentic Self portal. The Emerging Authentic Self portal opens when this summer solstice 2026 light strikes the core of your identity, and the 16.7 tower frequency clears every structure that concealed your true expression. This portal does not create a new self. It reveals the self that always existed beneath adaptation, performance, and inherited expectations. This summer solstice 2026 lifts the veils that once shaped your behavior, exposing the architecture of your original design. As the portal opens, you feel the internal shift from survival identity to sovereign identity. Your authentic self rises without hesitation. This portal activates your capacity to stand in truth without shrinking. It dissolves masks, compensations, and the subtle distortions that formed when you shaped yourself around external environments, seeking outside validation. Authenticity becomes your natural posture. You move through the world with clarity, coherence, and presence that requires no explanation. Your solstice directive: reveal the self that no longer hides. Woo. And the compression line: I stand as the one I was always meant to be. All right, Archangel, what you got?
I love that. And that definitely, that authentic self definitely touches on that Venus opposition to Pluto that's coming up with Leo and Aquarius, being on both sides of that, because as much as we may not want certain things to be seen and come to light, it's still a part of what makes us whole, what makes us our most authentic self. And being able to stand in the light, even though we do have those little quote unquote imperfections. The Leo energy definitely teaches us to kind of like get out there, be courageous, use that vitality to your advantage, get other people involved, be the light, bring the light, share the light. And then that opposition with Pluto is going to check you to make sure, okay, is this really what you want to do? Is this really the direction you really want to go in? Are you really aligned to the message that you're delivering? Are you really aligned to the group that you're doing contemplation with? Are you truly aligned with what your heart is telling you? Because the moment that you feel like there is some type of separation going on, it's going to be mixed. It's going to be mixed. It's not going to go anywhere. So
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely tapping into the beauty of what makes you bright, as well as the beauty that makes you shine in the dark when you are with yourself. Those have to be merged. Those have to have an equal balance when it comes to being your authentic self, because there's a part of you that deserves recognition for everything that you do and don't do. And there's also a part of you that deserves your privacy, your protection, as well as a sacred space with like-minded others where you can truly be authentically yourself without having to stand on the stage all the time. Because Leo don't turn off. You just gotta find somewhere to hide.
That's it.
You gotta find somewhere to hide where you can be yourself and at peace. But finding like-minded individuals, those who do resonate with you on a soul level, will definitely support that as well. So we do want to be mindful of our environment, because our environment is basically us calling out to the universe saying, "Hey, I need this right now," and then it gets delivered. So what you ask for is what you shall receive.
Your thoughts
And
become your things.
right, and the more authentic you are, the more authentic you'll receive as well, and you'll always know because the resonance will be there. It can't be missed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Number 5, the self-motivation portal. So before I read this, anybody that don't want to do shit, anybody that loves their procrastination, anybody that loves their laziness, put your fingers in your ears while I read this. The self-motivation portal opens when this summer solstice 2026 light activates your inner engine of purpose, and the 16.7 tower frequency clears the structures that once muted your drive. This portal does not create motivation. It reveals the source of motivation that always lived within your soul. This summer solstice 2026 exposes the places where external pressure once replaced internal fire. As the portal opens, you feel the shift from reactive movement to sovereign propulsion. Your actions rise from clarity rather than from urgency. This portal activates your ability to initiate without hesitation. It dissolves stagnation, internal resistance, and the subtle energetic drag that formed when you carried expectations that never aligned with your authentic self. Motivation becomes a natural expression of your inner architecture. You move because your path calls you forward, and your field responds with precision. Your solstice directive: move from the fire that lives within, not from the noise that surrounds you. In your compression line: I act from the power that awakens when I remember who I am. What say you, Archangel?
Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that statement too. Okay, so this definitely helped me tap into the because a lot of stuff you was describing, I'm like, oh yes, Mars Taurus. So we can definitely be protecting our, again, those comfort zones. But the square to Pluto is like, be unique, be different, go out there and do things that you've never done before. A lot of the protection may have come from not trying to make other people feel uncomfortable, and that Pluto energy is like it's like a deep sense of like psychological warfare. Like it'll feel like that, like somebody, like it's just something in the air that's so heavy. But if you're not allowing yourself to lean into it, it can make you feel like, okay, I can't change. I gotta stay the same. I gotta keep this appearance up, or I gotta do this. And it's like, no, it's really forcing you to like knock down the wall that you're so afraid to, get over, and get out there and allow yourself to grow. So this is a great source um, of us being able to tell whether or not we're trying to feel a need within ourselves, or are we allowing ourselves to just grow within what's happening to us, allowing the growth to actually just take place. I definitely sense with the self motivation, this will be an excellent time to evaluate what motivates you, an excellent time to see where your motivations in the past have led you, and are they still helping you presently or hurting you presently as far as you trying to get to your desired destination. And again, it's not about the destination exactly. However, you still got to do this trip. So do you
Absolutely.
want to do this trip
Yeah.
and stressed out and struggling, or do you want to do this trip with as much grounded in peace as you possibly can handle? And only you can know the answer to that question underneath all of, the layers of cells that we do randomly just happen to go through while we're on our evolution. So very strong, very aligned with the self-motivation part, very aligned with that, because that can tell us a lot about not only where we're headed, but again, how we feel about ourselves. What do we feel like we could reach? How much courage do we have? Well, how much are we willing to fight for what it is that we truly want? And it doesn't necessarily have to be busting somebody in the head, but it does take a lot of fight to get over old habits that you really want to break. And that Taurus energy again is very stubborn, very, very stubborn. And it's a defense mechanism when you need to protect something. But again, the walls that keep us safe can also be the walls that keep us from growth. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. The walls that keep us safe are also the walls that confine us. Just depends on how you look at it. Thank you for that, Archangel. All right, all right, all right. Number six. All right. If number five, the self-motivation one, gave you a little bit, this one really gonna give you a little something, something. The eliminating self-doubt portal. The eliminating self-doubt portal opens when this summer solstice 2026 light strikes your inner fractures where uncertainty once lived, and the 16.7 tower frequency clears the structures that distorted your perception of your own power. This portal does not strengthen confidence. It removes the interference that once obscured it. This summer solstice 2026 reveals the exact origins of hesitation, showing how doubt formed through memory, conditioning, and inherited narratives rather than truth. As the portal opens, the internal static dissolves and your field stabilizes into clarity. This portal activates your ability to trust your inner signal without seeking external confirmation. It dissolves hesitation, second guessing, and the subtle energetic tremors that once disrupted your forward movement. Self-doubt loses its position in your system as your authentic self rises with unmistakable presence. You move with certainty because your field no longer carries distortion. Your solstice directive: trust the signal that has always been yours. In the compression line, I move in clarity because my truth is undeniable. What say you, Archangel?
I move with clarity because my truth is undeniable. I know that's right. That's very okay. Yeah, that's definitely giving me that Lilith in Sagittarius, which is about freeing yourself from some unknown limitations that could come from, anywhere, that belief system, Jupiter ruled. So with the self-doubt too, the self-doubt, I did connect this with, of course, the nodes, which are currently being squared, of course, with Uranus. But that North Node Pisces is to allow us to see a vision where things are more clear, more able to be realized through us. And I also see this too as a great motivation to play with the imagination a lot more. Play with, any idealism where there's a scenario you get to create and map out what brings out your inner joy, your inner enlightenment, your inner peace as well. So when we allow ourselves to repeatedly do that, it is going to be resistance, which is that South Node Virgo. It has to be resistance because, there's always a equal energy. Okay, there's light in there's dark. So as much as we allow ourselves to, do those, well, I don't know, like visualizations or whatever you want to call it, allowing ourselves to do, watch videos, look at the pictures, feed off those visuals to inculcate them as regular thoughts or regular habits into the subconscious mind. And then when those negatives come out, the self-doubt hits the fan, that's when we have an opportunity to strike it down and keep living in our desired reality. And sometimes when we do have doubt, it can be real sneaky. Okay. The mind is very, very sneaky, very tricky. Mercury is a trickster. Okay. The mind can be very tricky. And it will have ways of where you think like, oh, I don't have no doubt. And then something will come up and you won't even really know what the issue is until you sit down with yourself and actually break it down and be like, huh, this is another form of self-doubt.
Absolutely.
It wasn't dressed that way, and that's called an illusion. But it wasn't just because it didn't look that way doesn't mean it's not that way. So yeah, when it comes to the self-doubt, this is definitely an opportunity for us to again shed another layer of that because we're moving upward, inward, and we very much do want to feel things happening positively with us. And when those self-doubt moments do happen, allow it to happen without being attached to it.
That
Meaning,
part.
yeah, I know I've been observing these type of thoughts where I might not be as motivated because I have a little self-doubt, but that does not mean that I am in self-doubt. That doesn't mean that I am the doubt itself. It means that I'm observing with my consciousness that I have a little thing with whatever this is. However, this is my focus. This is where I choose to put my energy, which is in
Right.
things excelling instead of derailing. Uh,
Absolutely.
Ryan, I see your hand up.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan. What's up?
I think this is a great time to kind of give you guys something that's a culmination to this point as we're walking through these portals. I want you guys to really treat this like we're going through portals. And Archangel Alania, she just made a great point, and she was transparent about it. Put a 1 in the chat, or somebody just say I have, or yes you have, if you've ever experienced a sleazy salesperson. Most human beings, it's a study. Most human beings don't like being sold. We like to go buy what we want. And a salesperson is a facilitator of that transaction. We don't like to be sold, like sleazy sold. Well, what I'm telling you is what she touched on just now. The greatest salesman in the world is your lower self, is the procrastinator in you. Mm-hmm. There's no greater salesperson that can talk you off your path than your inner self. Because it's going to come in the form of a justification. Like Richard Pryor said, Richard Pryor was heavily addicted to cocaine. And he said now I want you to put this in context of you being a person that has a goal and your motivation. I'm going to give you this example and put it in the context for you because it's right on our topic. Richard Pryor said he couldn't even go cash a check. Now, mind you, this man's a multi-millionaire getting paid top dollar. He takes a limo to the bank. He don't drive to the bank. He has a limo come pick him up and go to the bank. He said that his addiction was so strong that he would find a reason, or he couldn't wait to get mad at somebody to say, you know what? Fuck that, you're right. Me and my cocaine, we're going to go in our room and, man, forget this check. Or he'll get to the bank and the bank will say, well, sir, you just have to sign it. So, oh, you know what? Forget that. I'll be back later. And he would go to his room and smoke cocaine. So what I'm saying is in them moments where you set out to do something and you know damn well you need to get this done, and you find a justification, that's not you. That's not you. That's the deeper core. That's you being an observer. It's like in the military. More statistical facts. We're spiritual, we're practical, and we're factual. So another fact is in the military, for them to stay calm and get done what they have to get done in those conditions, they practice something called the observer effect. It's where you have to deeply observe what you're doing. You have to think about what it is you're thinking about. So if a thought comes and you set a goal out and a thought comes and says, well, no, you know what? I'm not really feeling it today, or the temperature is 2 degrees hotter. I think I'm going to chill. You have to take a second and be like, wait a minute. Am I selling myself on bullshit, or do I really need to get this done? So my point being is know your voices and always hold your field. Know what your field feels like. What a field is that's one of your baseline vibrations. That field you feel, that's one of your baseline vibrations. So we just went through the abundance portal 2 portals ago. So I'll give you an example. What helps you stay tapped into your field is break it down to its base core. So its base core is you may not want more money. You may want the options that more money affords you. That's how you get into your field. You go to the base core.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal isn't, oh, I want to be filthy rich. Well, let's break it down some more. What you really want is rich options.
Mm-hmm.
So get into a field of, and here's the last thing, I'll leave you with this. Write out the things that you have right now and the way you handle things right now, and then write out the challenges and things you would have if you were the bold version of you. That's the other part too. If you ever get confused about, damn, am I unconsciously selling myself on procrastinating? Well, wait a minute. What would the bold me do? That's gonna solve it right there.
Yep.
If you're ever wondering about that voice, just do what the bold you would do. And don't do what the old you would do. The old you would be like, yeah, that's not a justification. I do need to rest. But the bold you is like, wait a minute. The bold me would say, fuck that and get it done.
Absolutely.
So default to the bold you, break things down to the lowest core of what you really want, and maintain that field and observe the observer. Think about what you're thinking about, and that's going to help you with the procrastination stuff.
Appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, the last portal that opens. Number 7, the perfectly imperfect portal. The perfectly imperfect portal opens when this summer solstice 2026 light reaches the places where you once demanded flawlessness, and the 16.7 tower frequency dissolves the structures that shaped your unrealistic standards. This portal does not celebrate error. It celebrates authenticity. This summer solstice 2026 reveals how perfectionism formed as protection, shaping your identity around performance rather than truth. As the portal opens, the pressure to appear polished dissolves, and your field relaxes into natural coherence. You feel the shift as your presence becomes more fluid, expressive, and aligned with your actual design. This portal activates your ability to move without self-judgment. It dissolves rigidity, overcorrection, and the internal tension that once restricted your creative and emotional flow. Imperfection becomes a doorway to freedom, not a threat to your authentic self. You step into a state where your humanity strengthens your sovereignty. The solstice directive: honor the form that evolves through expression, not constraint. And the compression line: I rise through the freedom of my unfolding form. Take us on home, Archangel. No, just about this portal.
Okay, there we go. Jesus. Mute button. We gonna fight. But yeah, about that freedom part, because I think that's the part where even especially even what Ryan was just touching on, sometimes it's not about the idea of being actually rich. Sometimes it's just about us feeling some type of like feeling inside of us that will make it all come together, and that's what the visualization is supposed to be for. So even during this or right after actually this solstice does go exact, we're immediately going into a quarter moon square. So there is going to be challenges, of course, getting into Monday where we look different. There is going to be some challenges that's going to
Most
test us.
definitely. Yeah, most definitely. A few of us on this call gonna look very different on that Monday. But go ahead. You know what I'm talking about.
Uh, well, yeah, but that moon going into Libra, as soon as it hits zero, it's going to square off with the sun, and it's also going to create an air trine as well. So it's definitely going to be a lot of communications going on about what should be and what should it be and how this should be and how that should be and who should be doing this and who should be doing that lots of conversation is going to be going on. But on the opposite of that end of that spectrum is you get to have all this conversation within yourself too. And that's one thing about Aquarius energy is like you have to have inner dialogue. You got to know where you stand above all. So this is a great time to look at the perspective when it comes to perfectionism as just a pure illusion. It's something that you can generate and create. Anybody can generate and create. It doesn't make it absolutely real. It just gives you an ideal of something. So trying to live up to something that is not even real to kind of help you remind yourself of yes, you want to take what you're doing seriously, but you don't want to take yourself so seriously that you ruin the whole thing about life being lived is supposed to be a point of joy and creative expression. So we want to allow ourselves to release the things that make us feel like we have to be confined or perfect, but allow that, especially with the moon going into Libra, allow ourselves to intuitively see where we can refine our connection to ourselves that would release the need to be quote unquote perfect on stage in a room full of people by yourself. We just want to make sure, especially with Saturn being in Aries, that we just stick to the plan. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be completely neat. There are going to be messes. There are going to be so-called mistakes, but it's just about, are you able to get back up and keep moving? Are you able to continue to pull yourself moving forward? Or are you going to continue to look back and wishing you did things differently? Because we don't want to do that. We don't want to be stuck in the past. But we could continue again to move forward. And I really do appreciate that being the last one as well, because once you are able to just overcome the so-called self-doubt that we may be experiencing, then it's like if you're not doubting yourself, then you don't have some illusion of perfectionism to live up to, then you are ultimately free. And that's what you want to do. You want to be free. A lot of people don't just want $8 billion just to have it. It's about the access to freedom that they feel like they don't immediately have in their life right now. So removing the perfectionism would give us a sense of freedom in how we create and express ourselves, which is what we're here to do.
Thank you for that. I want to share with you guys a little something about myself. Being 16-7 first step, and having strong 7 energy in my given name. Yeah, I had a real bad deal with that perfectionism, especially as a young kid, all the way up till about somewhere between 14, the beginning of birth year 14 and the end of birth year 16, somewhere in between there. Yeah, a switch clicked in on me, and I became less obsessed with being perfect. But I wouldn't do something unless I knew that I was going to be the best at it. I wouldn't, like, games or athleticisms or things at school I gravitated to the events and the activities that I had a confidence and a knowing in myself that I was the fucking best at that shit already. And if there was any possibility that I was not going to win at something, I wouldn't even do it. I would not even do it. I just would be like, nope, that's it. Um, a lot has transpired with me over the years. A lot of the stuff that I have written, I have a whole bunch of shit I've written that is gonna never be seen by anybody. However, part of the stuff that I do on these broadcasts and some things that I've done outside of the broadcast. I wish you guys could see how I wrench myself and how I 3, 4, 5, 6 read that shit 7, 8, 10 times to make sure it's what perfect. I had this new pair of shoes that I've been wearing, and I'll be real careful and don't want to spill shit on it. Well, I spilled some shit on my shoes the other day. And after I blemished the new shoe or blemished whatever it is, then I'm satisfied. Now I'm like, okay, now the shit ain't perfect no more. Now let's just go along. Yeah, I feel much better. Perfectly imperfect. I am perfectly imperfect. That has to work for me. I got strong 7 energy, so I'm never going to get away from needing the shit to look certain way and be a certain way and be in this order and all that. However, I am perfectly imperfect. All right, you guys have just listen to Master Self Astrology on the On the 7 Broadcast Network, where Archangel Elenia brings celestial clarity, spiritual precision, and cosmic alignment to every listener. She reads the sky as a living intelligence, guiding you through planetary movements, energetic shifts, and the deeper meaning behind your timing. This is where astrology becomes activation for your path in every season today. All right. Any comments? Any questions? Anybody got any concerns? I did put together a ritual activation. Hold on. Yeah, activation, ignition, integration, and production sequence ritual. I will be emailing that out to everyone after the broadcast today. Yeah, it is self-explanatory. I wrote it in a way that we don't have to go over it, and it will mean much more to you if we do not go over the ritual today and you do the ritual starting at 7:22 p.m. Pacific time, and however that translates to your time zone, 10:22 in the East. Start the ritual at the exact station event at 7:22 p.m. Pacific, 10:22 p.m. Eastern. So I will email that out to you, and I will put some instructions in the body of the email for each person. But right now, we want to open up the floor. We're going to end with a meditation. We're going to kind of seal in these 7 portals, and we want to capture all of this while all of us are freshly open to it. And that way, if we do this meditation, it'll be locked into your thought patterns for these days leading up to the solstice. So it'll just give you guys a head start into peeking into each one of these portals. But before we do that, I want to open the floor. If anybody has anything they want to comment on. Don, how you doing? You all right down there, Don?
I'm here. Sorry, I couldn't get my button pushed. Everything is great.
No apologies necessary. And isn't it good not to be pushing buttons?
Yes.
Good. I'm glad you can make it. I'm glad you took time out of your busy and important schedule to check in with On the Sevens with Piefish Beat Metatron. I appreciate you. I do. Yes, Ryan, go right ahead, brother.
It was on my spirit to go real briefly into archetype balance.
Okay.
So if you guys haven't got your archetype reports, get with Mark and get a specific one from us. And I'll give you an example real quick and straight to it on archetype balance. And for going into these types of times like solstice and for getting into your personal void Everything you want to manifest has a void, right? So all possibilities are alive and active if we act into them within reason, right? Like I know I can't snap my fingers and be Superman, like with the literal powers, but within reason, there's different identities and realities available to you based off your actions, decisions, how you hold your energy, what fields you're into, what portals you live out of. So here's an example. One of my archetypes, one of my main energies is the Jack of Clubs. So if you know about the Jack of Clubs, low side is extremely trivial, extreme trickster, not just a procrastinator, but an elite procrastinator, meaning that they will pass the buck. So while they're procrastinating, they're lining up ways to pass the buck and not be responsible. So archetype balance is you do the opposite of whatever the low side of your archetypes are, right? So another one of my archetypes is that Taurus North Node, and it's at a high degree. So the low side of that would be overspending, unpractical spending, overly rigid financially. So basically find your archetypes and find the opposite remedies and be the opposite. So with the Jack of Clubs archetype, I can't stand tricksters. I can't stand most jacks. I don't like people passing the buck, and I don't try to procrastinate. I can't stand it when I know I'm procrastinating and I have to take a second and slap myself up and get out of it. I don't even like it, but I acknowledge it. I'm like, hey, Ryan, you're bullshitting right now. Snap out of it. It's okay to get to a level of awareness without saying this is me, right? So I can be a trickster at the snap of my fingers. I can pass the buck at the snap of my fingers. But the moment you notice it, you don't have to be that. That's just, you're made up of multiple archetypes. So get your archetypes and then get the blueprint and work on doing the opposite. And if you naturally are repelled by those energies, you're on a good track. Like I'm repelled by trickster, slick talker, trying to make a deal, but you know the deal is just about them. That's all what we call jack shit. So that's important for these periods because, again, no matter what planetary energies are available to us right now, you have to have clarity of identity, clarity of field, and you have to be able to stay in your void and master yourself. So a part of mastering self is having a balance and counteracting those low sides of the archetypes. So I wanted to put that out there.
Appreciate that, Ryan. Appreciate that. Anybody else? Jolene, our sponsor, is here today, y'all. Jolene, would you like to open up your mic and say hello to the people? She may still be at work or navigating her way out of the office and into her vehicle. We're appreciative of Jolene Herbert, our sponsor, and for her taking time out of her extremely busy day to join us. Anybody else?
I did want to also comment on what you were saying about during your teen years, you kind of have that shift where if you ain't 100% no, it's yours. You kind of lean back a little bit. I can honestly say that I've been the same way as well. It's like during my middle school years, it's like going into high school, I just felt like I got real introverted and less likely to just go for the thing. And that was totally like not like me, which is funny. But I definitely hear you about that when it comes to the perfectionism part, because there's a lot of different things that I know that I'm working on or I want to do, but it's like I wanted to get it to a certain specific kind of way. And then it's like, okay, we good. And it does be like that because I was laughing when you talking about the shoes because I literally just bought me another pair of shoes and I had looked down. I'm like, dang, I think I got a crease.
Look, I was online today looking at the shoes again, talking about left. All I need is just the left one again. I don't even need the right one. So I called the manufacturer, hey, can you send me just one of the shoes? They were like, no, can't. You gotta buy the whole, pair.
Funny. Yeah, but I definitely agree with you there about that perfectionism being precise. I mean, I don't have the name 7, but Being born on the 16th at 7:16 a.m. does something to you.
That's it. Absolutely. You're right. You're right. All right. Our sponsor has fixed her camera and
Yeah.
she's unmuted herself. Jolene Herbert. Yeah. What's up, honey? Talk to us.
Hi everyone. I miss you so much. Yeah, I'm just on lunch and I got out of session kind of late and I went to get something to eat. And then when you were calling to say, Jolene, I was trying to come back to the video. I was like, oh shoot. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, you know what, procrastination, is I'm a biggest used to because I worked on it. I really worked on not being that procrastinator. And because after I finished my master's, I didn't want to do nothing, nothing. I didn't want to do nothing, nada, nothing, nothing, nada, nothing. So, but one day I had to catch up with myself. And so, but yeah, procrastination is like later, later, later. When later comes, what you gonna do? You spend so much time saying later, 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 and then whatever you did, you have to still catch up with yourself. But in the last couple of months, with all this social thing going on, I really want to say, I don't want anyone to get stuck in a psychological tower because that's how it feels sometimes on how to get out of it. Sometimes it's really hard to get out of that tower. It's a psychological hold, and it's hard to really decide how to move forward. You're willing to move forward, but how to, because you dug yourself so much into not doing something. Oh my goodness, where do I start? And that's another conversation, and so and I'm seeing this racial thing. I don't know if you want to talk about this racial thing, but I am mourning. I'm really mourning what's going on because people have not really understood what that meant and means to be in a psychological tower, and the only thing you can do is bring out negativity and focus on one people. And so I'm just I'm a therapist. I talk to a lot of people, and I have been thinking about the psychological tower and how it's manifesting, and we see it every day. And it's heartbreaking, and I wish people really understand. Go into the mirror and have a freaking conversation with your damn self. And
That
I'm
part.
talking to that everybody. Everybody has to go in the mirror and say, what are you doing? What
That
am
part.
I doing
That
to
part.
contribute to this chaos?
Folks underestimate the power of mirror work. Mirror work will prompt internal and external changes much faster than somebody could tell you something. And somebody could tell you that you're overweight and you would be like, ah, yeah, well, whatever. But if you get butt naked and walk in front of a full length mirror and see it for yourself, yeah. Yeah, that mirror will reveal to you, yeah, what words that you was like, nah, I don't want to hear that shit. But that mirror will show you. Yeah,
It's
mirror
in
work.
everyone, every nationality, male, female, I don't care. We need to do it because it's sickening. It's really sickening. And that's my 1, 2, 3 punch today. And I hope everyone really gets in that mirror and have that discussion. And
Well,
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you and thank you for the sponsor showing up to the broadcast, y'all. Yeah, yeah. Let's give her a round of
Thank you so
applause.
much for having me. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for
Well,
having me.
thank you for sponsoring us, Jolene. We
Oh,
wouldn't be here
definitely.
without you. So we appreciate it.
Oh, definitely. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All righty. All
Okay.
right.
Bye-bye.
All righty. All right. As we prepare ourselves for a meditation, a summer solstice, the solar descent into the revealed self. Settle yourselves in your chairs, in your seats, right where you are. Clear your thoughts, clear your mind. If you can, focus in on your breathing right now. We want to do a slow inhale at the nose count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the cadence. We're going to slow inhale for 11. Breathe in. Hold. Release. One more time, breathe in. Hold. Settle into your seat. Let the breath lengthen. Let the body soften. Let the mind quiet. You are entering the solar gate. You are entering the crown of light. You are entering the moment where revelation becomes identity. Release. Return to normal breathing. Feel a vertical line rise through your spine. Earth below. Sun above. You stand between them as the bridge, the channel, the living instrument of coherence. This is your axis. This is your alignment. This is your throne. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Return to normal breathing. Call the solar mind to clear perception. Call your solar heart to stabilize coherence. Call your solar body to anchor presence. Now, feel the three unify into a single field of light. It doesn't matter which color the light is. Feel the three unify into a single field of light. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. hold, breathe out, and hold. As we enter the 16.7 tower frequency, a beam descends through your crown. The 16.7 tower frequency enters your field. See, sense, feel, and know. This frequency clears distortion. It reveals truth. It strengthens authenticity. Let the being move through you without resistance. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Return to normal breathing. As we begin releasing old structures, feel the outdated versions of yourself loosening, not through force, through recognition, through clarity, through remembrance. You release what no longer aligns with your authentic self. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Out. Hold. Now, as we release the old, let us start to embrace the new. Feel your field wide. Feel your horizon stretch. Expansion is not effort. Expansion is remembrance. You step into the space that always belonged to you. See yourself there in that space. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. And as you step into the spaces that always belong to you, Feel the frequency of sufficiency rise in your being. Abundance is resonance. Abundance is alignment. You open to the flow that recognizes your worth. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. And as you continually stay open to the flow that recognizes your work, let this summer solstice 2026 light reach the deepest chambers of your soul, of your actual being. Old echoes dissolve. Old memories release. You return to the truth that existed before the wound. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Return to normal breathing. And as we return to the truth that existed before the womb, feel your authentic self rise. No performance, no adaptation, no inherited expectation. Only the original design stepping forward. Come forth, authentic one. Yeah. Come on. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. And as we get comfortable, stepping forward as the original design, feel your inner engine ignite. Movement rises from clarity. Action rises from authenticity. Your path calls you forward with precision. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Return to normal breathing. And as our paths Call us forward with precision. Feel the static dissolve. Feel the tremors quiet. Feel certainty replacing self-doubt. Your inner signal becomes unmistakable. You can see it now. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. Return to normal breathing. And as your inner signal becomes unmistakable, feel the pressure release. Feel the rigidity soften. Feel your freedom rise. Your humanity strengthens your sovereignty. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. Return to normal breathing. And as your humanity strengthens your sovereignty, your authentic self steps forward. Not imagined, not projected, revealed. You feel the moment your authentic self becomes present. I know y'all can feel it. I feel it. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. And hold. Breathe out. And hold. Return to normal breathing. And as you sense and feel your authentic self becoming present, let the light settle. Let the truth anchor. Let the coherence stabilize. Integration is absorption. Integration is embodiment. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. hold. Return to normal breathing. See yourself tomorrow morning. See yourself moving with clarity. See yourself choosing with precision. See yourself living the truth you have claimed. Every action becomes alignment. Every choice becomes declaration. Lock it in. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Return to noble breathing. And as we close the field, we close these portals, I want you to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your solar plexus. Speak this internally. I move as the one who knows. I speak as the one who remembers. I stand as the one who rises. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. Return to normal breathing. And as we come back to the now, know that the solar gate closes around you, that the light remains within you, and your authentic becoming continues. Breathe in. Hold. And a long release. Breathe in. Hold. And a long release. Last one. Breathe in. Hold. And a long release. And with that, we're back in the now. Stand up. Snap your fingers, clap your hands, stomp your feet. Do one thing to let yourself know you are back in the now. How y'all feeling? Yep, yep, yep. I will be emailing you guys the meditation and the ritual. I really want you guys to see and feel the ritual when I send it to you. That's why we're not going to go over it today. And I will put instructions in it, but this is for Sunday, the 21st. So, or whatever, yeah, whatever the 21st is, whatever day of the week it is, but we're going to do it for that. I just want to open it up. Everybody okay? We are breaking new ground, and we are both coming out of comfort zones. So y'all okay? Y'all with us today? Everything good, right? Good. All right. Ryan, you got anything you want to say before we close it out? Thank you, my brother. Thank you. And what about you, Archangel?
That was very beautiful. Very, very beautiful meditation. I felt very beautiful moments within my own energy while we're here together.
Yes. I felt the alignment. I felt us aligning. I felt like two folks who, especially about the self-doubt. Yeah, I felt two folks that really got some clarity and got some positivity in the areas of self-doubt and self-motivation and that perfectly imperfect shit. So I'm grateful and thankful that we're all here today. Anybody else? No? All right. Well, if there'll be nothing else, this has been On the Sevens with Pythons B Metatron, where we come to awaken to our mastered self, ascend with our evolving soul, and expand our consciousness mind. We are thankful and grateful for each and every one of you for your support and encouragement. Please continue to keep On the Sevens with Pythons B Metatron a part of your soul's journey as your mastered self awaits you. Let me leave you with this. As above, so below. As within, so without. As of the cosmos, so in your soul core level. It is so, it is so. Always be authentically you, unapologetically. Until we gather again, goodbye for now. I am Pythons B Metatron on the Sevens, signing off. Zen Uru, Zen Uru, Zen Uru. Keep checking your emails for your next announcement and for our next broadcasted event. Goodbye for now.